Hello, everybody, and welcome to Spiritual Successor, a comedy video game design podcast inspired by Polygon's Cool Games, Inc. I am your host, AJ Hart.
And I'm your other host, Blake Rhea.
Holy shit, you can tell we've been doing that for a while now.
We've been doing it for a little bit because we were able to just predict.
You know what's weird? I think you and I harmonized. I don't know if it's because I can hear your voice in my ears.
It's probably a little bit of that, yeah.
Holy shit. Hey, everybody, and welcome. We are a comedy video game design podcast where we take your lovely submissions from Reddit and Twitter and email and YouTube. Fuck you, AJ.
That's not official channels.
Oh, shit, I totally said fuck.
You and I just said that we weren't going to cuss as much during this recording, and you've just dropped 3 F-bombs.
We almost lost an ad spot because they're like, hey, we respect your content, but you guys cuss a little bit too much for our taste, so we don't want to do a recommendation.
Yeah, and so we were
but
like,
they ended up doing it because we were really grateful.
We almost lost a business transaction.
That's a big word for Mr. AJ.
It's a very big word. Thank you. I've been practicing that one. We almost lost the ability to pay them money because we cussed too much. We had green dollars and they said, yucky, you have bad words and we don't like that.
Yeah,
that's how bad we talk on this show.
Okay, we're going to try and be a little bit better
No
about
more
it.
curses for the whole episode.
That's improbable.
Don't boop and cuss.
Did you just you realize you could have just censored yourself in post, right? No,
I could have.
You just had to do your own beep.
Here's the thing about podcasting.
AJ, really quickly.
You need to make sure that you're editing yourself while you're on air.
I have a test
for you.
That way
you save time in the editing.
I have a test for you. So I wanna prpractice something because I am a sailor. I cuss quite a bit.
Is the practice going to be you cussing and me having to censor it?
So you and I have a good rhythm of each other now. We just did that intro completely together. So I'm going to cuss somewhere in this sentence, and you gotta censor me. Okay?
You know what? I'll tell you what. You go ahead and give me a practice run. You go ahead and show me how good you are at words, and I'm going to censor it and show how cool I am.
How good I am at words?
Yeah, go ahead and show off all your cool sailor words.
Hi, I'm AJ, and I am a asshole. No, why did you censor me? That was the whole exercise.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to censor in post.
No, you're supposed to censor me here. That's the fun. That's the game of it.
All right,
you fucko. You see, you missed it again. You can't.
It's so difficult.
Here, I'll give you an easy one.
Okay.
Hello.
No, I like this. This is good. You keep going.
Hey AJ, oh my God, you're totally holy fuck. You're not even censoring the fuck. Holy shit.
Wow, Blake, you're cussing a lot now. I was really concerned about some of those words that you were about to use, and wow, those are just
not kosher, man. That's not good.
I'm gonna have to censor the whole I might have to delete this evidence. You've done a lot of big swears then.
All right, yes, we're a video game design podcast that sometimes cusses. Not a whole lot. We're pretty good about it. No,
almost too much.
Yeah, we're almost too much.
We did get to give that person money.
Thank you to our Patreons for that, by the way. You guys are helping us do some ads on other podcasts, and we're very grateful. AJ, give me a submission.
Okay.
Or do you want me to give you a submission?
How about you start it off? You seem really jazzed about it.
Yes.
You're excited to get the episode rolling.
All right, this one comes to us on Reddit from Grace Zephyr 87. Dance Dance Evolution. Adapt your meat to the beat. So, you obviously, I think you're trying to evolve yourself into the best dancing machine ever made, right?
Yes, the perfect dancing machine.
So is this kind of like, there's this one game, I think it's called Evolution Battle, where you can combine various species of things to make your own monster that you then have to battle in an arena.
Okay, so that sounds kick-ass.
So could it be a thing where it's like it's an arcade game where you actually have like a game you play on your phone that you can like create your own evolved dancing machine?
Okay,
that you can enter a code into the dance machine thing?
Okay, that's its own incredibly wonderful pitch. A phone game that connects to an arcade cabinet.
Yes. And this is the game that'll do it. Oh man,
You almost did a cuss, didn't you?
No, I was gonna say something worse.
What were you gonna say?
I wanted to say adapt your meat to the beat, but I was gonna say something raunchier, and I don't want to say it.
What
so
could possibly be raunchy about adapt your meat to the beat?
I was gonna say beat your meat to the beat.
Disgusting.
I know it just rolls off the tongue like that because it rhymes.
How
I know.
vulgar.
Get off
Oh, this lowbrow comedy. I cannot stand
Get off your high horse, you cuck.
No, this is about your meat. Not that meat. Adapt your meat.
You're like your genetic meat.
Your genetic meat. Okay, wait, but a phone game that connects to your
Yeah, so
Okay.
like you can get any species that you can find or whatever,
Pokemon.
right? Yeah.
Is this a Pokemon game where you're breeding and combining Pokemon? Actually,
No,
wait,
because
wait,
you're
wait.
dancing.
There
So
was-
it has to be like you are a human. So like you give
You
your-
don't have to be a human. Here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
So my sister
Well, I think you
plays.
start out as human and then you can evolve into other things.
My sister plays this mobile game that's kind of like Pokemon Go, but it's the Jurassic Park or Jurassic World version where you
Mhm,
get all these dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And then you could combine them.
Okay.
Take your Jurassic World video game and you plug it into the cabinet game, and then the dinosaurs dance.
Uh-huh.
So you need to create the greatest dancing dinosaur.
I think just putting it to one type of animal is very limiting. I think you can have dinosaurs as an aspect of it. And you know what would be really cool? Like just as a side thing. This is like we'll talk about the evolving mechanics.
Okay.
You play for pinks on this.
Oh, like if you lose your dinosaur in
You
the
lose-
game, you lose the dinosaur from your phone?
Yes, and it becomes part of their arsenal of DNA that they can then combine with their current thing
Okay.
to make an even better thing. Or they can be like the Pokemon Go thing where you can turn it into XP or candy or something.
Okay, so what sort of animals look good when they dance?
I want to say birds.
Birds, yes,
peacocks
birds look
are all
good
about
to dance
dancing.
because that's their whole thing, right? Like
Yeah.
birds have to dance so that they can get a mate.
So we combine a peacock with a shark because sharks are really good at wiggling about. They're really good at doing the one dance, the worm. So you have to. So basically, you take your thing, and maybe depending on their evolutions, it actually gives you buffs during the game of Dance Dance Revolution.
Yes.
So like it's still a dancing game, so you need to have the dexterity
Like-
skill as well as a well-built dancing.
If you have a good dancing animal, 4 legs,
Mhm.
it's got a shark
8 legs.
body,
8
8 legs.
because it's got to have more feet to dance.
You're
you know
right.
what
It's
I mean?
got 8 spider legs to dance with. It's
Mhm.
got a shark body so it can do the worm, and then it has a big peacock tail. And the peacock tail buff is that it's going to slow down the dance of your opponent.
I was thinking it covers their screen because it opens up
also
like the
very
fan
good.
and then you just see it dancing. Oh, you know, what'd be really cool too.
What?
Like, what if you can build a animal that will dance for you? So you can be like Lord Genome, where you have your arms crossed, just standing on the dance floor, but not having to dance
Well,
at
wait.
all.
Does the player dance at all when they play the game?
Yes.
How would a human being replicate having 8 legs to dance with?
You got to grow 8 legs, bro.
Okay. Okay.
So you could do a thing where the game gets harder. So like depending on how many legs you have, you score more points. But playing the game means you need to be pressing more things at once.
So does this game, like when it's in arcade or phone mode, it plays like the Hatsune Miku tapping game, where you just have to tap the right
I think
things?
when it's just on a game and when it's on your phone, it's just like going around collecting animals by exploring. So
Yeah.
a la Pokemon Go.
Go.
But you can also like maybe there's like a limited starting amount of things. Like maybe you could do a thing like fuck it. This is a game that is from the future. You could take pictures of things and then you can combine your pictures with your current animal to make them better. I want to make my awesome robot lion cucumber boy
Mhm.
into combine with a Santa Claus stand-in during Christmas time. I'm gonna go take a picture of Santa at the mall, and now he's part of my dancing thing. And then he gets Santa abilities like gift giving, where he'll randomly spawn a gift middle of the match.
So the game
And they
has
get
to
points.
create randomly generated buffs.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
I'm
There's
into-
a lot to process here. I have
This
another
is a
video.
game about evolving and dancing. It's gonna be complicated.
That's
bro.
true. It would constantly be adding in more features.
Mhm, mhm.
I have another video game idea for you.
Tell me about it.
So this one I kind of have 2 submissions for, and I want you to kind of pick which one you think.
Submissions?
Well, here's the thing.
2 submissions.
It's one submission.
How dare you?
It's
actually, I'm totally fine with
It's
that.
one
please.
submission, but I read it horribly, so that it became 2 submissions.
I've done that so many times.
So this comes from Claire et al. At Search Query. Now, the actual submission was Romance of the Three Findoms. What I read was Romance of the Three Fandoms.
Okay, you know what's so funny?
What?
Before we go into your lovely thing, I need to do a side note to that.
Okay.
When I read it, I was like, "Oh, that's one of the submissions I picked too."
Okay.
And I picked it so I can put you and I on. I can put you on blast for reading Prison School because I recommended it to you.
I did read Prison School because you recommended it to me.
Romance of the Three Kingdoms is a big thing in Prison School. Also, don't read Prison School.
Don't read Prison School. It's horrid.
There's really good
I
story
regret
beats
going
in
through
it.
that.
But like, also Hannah's perfect. She's a wonderful best girl who.
If you keep singing any praises about Prison School, you and I are going to criminal jail for criminal crimes.
Going to get canceled, yeah.
Because, wow, I can't believe I read that series.
You're a good friend. You read it for me, but AJ,
Why did we do this to ourselves?
What was the last time I got into something for you? I'm not a very good friend. Actually, I got into Monster
You got
Hunter.
into Monster Hunter for
I
me.
played it all of twice.
So, here's what I want to talk about Romance of the Three Findoms or Fandoms.
Okay.
You know what a Findom is. Maybe it's pronounced
It's
Findom.
it's a scaly who's a dom, right?
No.
Wait, hold on. It's not. No, it's not scaly. It's fishy.
Nope. Incorrect also. A Findom
No. Wait, I need to.
is short for...
Are fish part of the scaly group?
I'm going to say fish are part of the scalies.
Okay.
The alternative would be gillies.
Thank you for clarifying that. I needed to know next time I go to Google.
Thank you. You're welcome. So a Findom, again, I don't know how it's pronounced, is like a financial dominatrix. They're the person that says like let's say that you're a rich man. The only way that you can get off is by having women tell you how much money you're allowed to spend.
Okay, so I want.
So you're super rich and there's an innate sexuality in being poor, I guess? I'm not certain about how Findoms work. And at this point, I'm a little afraid to ask, and I don't know how much I should make fun of it on a podcast.
Okay, well, I mean, you don't have to make fun of it. We could just talk about like what we think it means.
I think it's people that are super rich that think that there's an innate horniness in being poor, and so they get hot women or hot men to find them, tell them how much money they're allowed to have, and be mean to them.
So basically, say you and I are the fin dom and the fin bottom or whatever it is.
I want to be the fin bottom. Ooh, I'm so rich. Ooh, I have so much money.
So you're not allowed to spend $50 on that steak.
Oh, yeah. What else can I not spend money on?
All right, this joke's over. I'm very uncomfortable.
What else can I not spend money on, Blake? Ooh, can I get a soda with my dinner? Ooh, can I get a soda with my dinner?
No.
Yes! Oh, yes! I'm drinking water. So the other alternative was...
This is so weird.
Would you prefer to go into the Romance of the Three Fandoms, which
Okay.
is, of course, would be a Super Hulock video game.
What?
Super Hulock?
I've never heard of who is Hulock?
Blake, come with me to the past, to the
Cool.
old days of Tumblr.com.
Okay.
There was a time before Tumblr.com was abandoned now.
Mm-hmm. It's not abandoned. There's still good shit there.
Before it was the horny, sacred place of the internet.
Uh-huh.
There was a time when Tumblr was owned by, I think this might have even been before Homestuck.
Oh, shit.
This was a time when Tumblr was ruled by 3 kingdoms. The Supernatural Kingdom, the Doctor Who Kingdom, and the Sherlock Kingdom.
Really?
And at this time...
Those last two make total sense. I've never heard of the first one.
Supernatural?
Oh, Supernatural. Sorry, I thought you said... I don't know what you said, but... Okay, so it's just like a bunch of people being fans of like...
Those 3 shows.
Okay.
And so that's why like there's a lot of... Every now and again you'll see a post recirculate on Tumblr about Super Hulock. Which is like kind of what like the term is for when those 3 things were huge, or the people that were into those 3 things, or when those 3 things competed over what was greatest.
So, okay.
So
the gamifying of this is that these 3 kingdoms are now fighting over Tumblr.
Yes.
And the darkness approaches, and the darkness is just a bunch of fan fiction and just like really really raunchy stuff. They need to either work together to defeat this evil, or they will take over for their own. They'll take over Tumblr, basically.
Have you seen those games that are like the pitch of it is that you're like digging through somebody's phone?
Yeah, no, I've played a couple of those. Those are actually really interesting.
I'm imagining that the Romance of the Three Fandoms would be a game sort of like that, where like you have somebody's cell phone and you're investigating their life as they've gone through these three huge fandoms.
Hey,
like,
AJ, really
if
quickly.
you open up different social medias, you'll be able to dig through their messages and like randomly generated posts.
AJ, let's just use a real life example. Our buddies are into Mudazushi. Are you willing to go through their phone and see all of the things they've interacted with?
Yes.
Bro, that's dangerous.
But this is all fictional. This is a fakey fake game. I'm not going to invade my friend's privacy. I want to invade a fake person's privacy.
If a normal-ass person you know has weird shit on it, do you think the average Joe person on the internet is going to have totally wholesome, regular stuff?
I think that's the joy of it. It's like...
You're going to find green penis fan fiction? Is that really... AJ, this game scares me on like a legit level.
Yes,
no.
It's a horror video game. Romance of the Three Fandoms is a horror video game where you get somebody... You are mysteriously given somebody's phone, and they've gone missing, and you are investigating the three fandoms that they were a part of: Supernatural, Doctor Who, and Sherlock.
And then you just walk away with a real ass scar of seeing bad things. You want to hurt our audience? You want to destroy their minds? Because I'm all in on that.
I think that we'd be a little bit safe because I don't think that. And this is going to come from AJ Hart, who probably wasn't on Tumblr at the time of the Super Who luck phase.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and make a bold accusation that I don't think that fan fiction was weird until Homestuck existed. That's probably a very inaccurate sentence, but it's a funny sentence to say out loud.
I don't know. I've always felt like fan fiction has an inherent weirdness because you're creating an AU where you can achieve your desire. Well, I think there's a lot of fan fiction out there that's like really cool and like it's like, oh, I would love to see this story angle, but a majority, I mean, not majority of it, a good amount of it is self-insert fan fiction.
Well,
which always has weird undertones.
The good news is we will find some self-insert fan fiction for our Enter of the Three Fandoms games.
I have an idea. You stumble across three phones at the beginning of the game.
Yes, it's three phones.
And then it's about how they lost themselves in self-insert fan fiction. So much so that they actually fell into the world that they are fanning about. So you can either
killed somebody.
You can either oh my god. Well, I know. I mean, like literally, like they went into the world of Sherlock. They went into the world of Doctor Who.
Isekai'd into it.
Yeah, they isekai'd into it, but it was like there was the clash of like what their fan fiction is and what the show is. So it's like them in their own personal hellscape.
They lost a grasp on reality.
I mean, like they might have just fell into a whole new one. You know what I mean?
I want to do this video game where you have three phones that you are investigating from different fandoms, and you're trying to find out what they did to make this fourth person disappear.
Okay. So is it like the Anime Crimes Division thing where like they are enacting murders from their select series?
Like that, yes, but horror. Like, I want to get deeply uncomfortable. The more you dig into these three phones, the more you realize that they lost a grasp on who they were in the real world, and the more they thought that they were just Doctor Who.
I have a great idea. Just like as an example. So the person who fell in love with Doctor Who, I never watched Doctor Who, but
Me neither.
But I did.
Do you want to try Supernatural instead?
Well, no. I actually know one specific thing from Doctor Who, which is like one of my favorite horror things ever made. You ever heard of the Weeping Angels? Mm-hmm. So this person, like the artist from BioShock 1, covered these people in plaster and turned them into the Weeping Angels. So that's how they kill people. They turn them into Weeping Angels, but they don't move, obviously. They are trying to recreate their army of Weeping Angels, and that's their story. So then you have to like maybe, I don't know, like work your way through their phone and figure out where they are.
I think that maybe what it is like in the game, because like I think that what's so deeply uncomfortable about these games where like you're digging through somebody's phone is that they're just uncanny enough that like the things that you see in those games could be realistic.
Oh yeah.
So maybe instead of you reading on somebody's phone that they've done this thing where they like plastered somebody, you see like their pictures and they're writing about how they would do it.
It turns into a gross how-to video, basically, like a how-to series.
Okay, I want to put a pin in this horror game.
Oh, I actually want to hear your Supernatural thing, because I know you were really into Supernatural as a kid.
So I think that as you read more about the supernatural person,
Uh-huh.
I think that like one thing that like starts to turn it into like a haha silly fun, I'm digging through a supernatural fan's phone.
Mm-hmm.
You start to just find a bunch of news clippings that they've saved on their phone of different crimes. Like because like Supernatural's all about the road trip, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that whoever got like crazy uncomfortably into Supernatural,
Mm-hmm.
they get like really fixated on crimes that have happened through the US that they like screenshot like articles about.
You know, what'd be really twisted and creepy.
Hmm.
What if, in their mind, they are the long lost third brother of the
Yes.
supernatural
Yes,
brothers?
and they think that like they're like super cool and super powerful.
They
And
think they're
out to
part-
hunt real demons.
They think they're part of like heavenly.
Yes.
So their mind is like, I need to defeat all evil or
Oh
whatever.
my god!
Something
Like
like that.
you open up one of their secret apps and it's just like a bunch of political or like a bunch of like religious ramblings
Mhm,
and
mhm.
sermons. Okay, I'm putting a pin in this game because it's actually kind of interesting.
Okay, I got another game for you then.
Okay.
This one comes to us on Twitter from Fish Harlan at Fish Harlan. In light of the recent Mr. Peanut news, a Hitman-style game where you assassinate brand mascots. Finally, we can be forever rid of the honeycomb cereal mascot. He's our boss in this game.
He's probably the final boss because I do believe that he's an unkillable force.
He's like, oh, so it could be like the opening level is like, come back to me when you're stronger.
Yes.
But he's like foaming at the fucking mouth, you know? It's actually, wait, he just foams at the mouth, but he has subtitles on at all times of what he's
Yes.
saying.
So then we need to think about like who would be the easiest mascot to kill.
I think the easiest mascot to kill would probably be one of the Fruity Pebble mascots, which are the Flintstones.
Yeah, they're really easy.
I mean, they're strong. They'd be a challenge, but like, you'd
I
have to
think
kill
that
a child, basally.
well,
which
dang
is
it.
not-
That sucks now.
Which is not good.
Damn.
I
But I
mean,
could kill a caveman.
you could kill a caveman?
Also, that implies that you would be able to terminate Bam Bam, who does have super strength. And I think that that's something that we need to consider.
Is it killing a child or killing a superhuman child?
That's what Bam Bam is.
Where's the line of when it's okay and when it's not okay?
At what point is Bam Bam a monster and not a baby?
You know what would be a really cool twist, though, in this game? That Mr. Peanut. I don't know if any of you guys have seen this.
Oh, yeah,
trailer
Mr.
yet.
Peanut's dead. Is that
Mr. Peanut died.
is
and
that something that we should be handling with a little bit more care? He is dead.
I don't know. I never cared much for Mr. Peanut.
This is a real dead fictional man.
If any of you haven't seen the actual caught on tape video of him dying, their peanut mobile careens off of the cliff. So him, Wesley Snipes, and some other dude are hanging from a tree branch. Yes, Blade is actually really close friends with Mr. Peanut. And Mr. Peanut lets go of the branch to sacrifice himself and then lands on the peanut mobile, which explodes in the flames. He makes a comeback. His death was faked for this game.
Wait, why are we concerned about Mr. Peanut exploding into flames? We just get roasted peanuts now.
Yeah, I guess you're right, huh?
Y'all, I figured
Or
out how
peanut
this ad
brittle,
campaign...
or you get really good peanut brittle because it get all cooked into a nice little toasty bar.
That's how this ad campaign's going to end. I'm willing to bet some real dollars. Do you think that when this ad campaign comes to a close, is it that Mr. Peanut Company announces a new roasted peanut brand, or do they announce a new peanut brittle?
I have a theory for you. If we're theory crafting, hey guys, welcome to Spiritual Successor, the peanut theory crafting show.
An advertisement theory crafting show.
He's going to break open into two new mascots.
Oh,
So the peanuts inside are going to be like baked nuts, and they'll be like young hip kids or whatever. One's going to have their phone, and the other one's going to have a I don't know, a little flip camera. Flip cameras aren't relevant anymore.
One of them's going to be a media influencer, and the other one's also going to be a media influencer.
Okay, one's going to do peanut-based makeup tutorials.
And the other one does cooking shows.
Peanut-based cooking shows.
You know what's horrifying about this is like that could be happening.
Oh yeah, it most definitely will. They won't. He's been around for 100 years. They're gonna turn it into something. Yeah, he's been around since 1917, 1916.
He's been around to watch my greatest moments.
Mr. Peanut is always watching.
Mr. Peanut was there when I won the winning soccer goal in my little league soccer team.
Okay, how about this?
Mr. Peanut was there when I sat on the bench in varsity football. Mr. Peanut was there for me at 2 a.m. when I was drunk as fuck in college and needed to put something in my tummy.
It's a handful of almonds.
I did do a cuss just then, and I'm really sorry about that.
Here you go. Here's our story. So the the two peanuts, the two actual nuts that were in Mr. Peanut, come to life, and they're like, we need to get revenge.
Yes.
And it turns into this revenge story of like they find out the bomb that was underneath the peanut mobile was like it was all placed, it was all planned.
It was planted there by the the honeycombs goblin.
He's like, I was thinking it needs to be another peanut brand, like an opposing peanut like sort of thing. And I don't
other peanut mascots.
I have no fucking clue. You could so it could be
it
like
was planted there by Mrs. Peanut.
By Mrs. Peanut. Oh my god, and she wanted to like
she wanted to be the new
Miss Peanut.
Yes, but she didn't know that Mr. Peanut was pregnant with two lovely twins.
Okay, I'm into this. this.
Now,
so it becomes kids having to kill their own mom?
It might get there,
That's fucking dark,
well,
dude.
they're not really kids. They pop out as full-grown adult teenagers. They're peanuts. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're that generic, like, vlogger age.
AJ, you realize there are like a bunch of 30-year-old vloggers right now that are very popular.
Yeah, but they're only like 30 from the neck up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're
like Casey Neistat. He dresses like a 16-year-old from the neck down.
Yeah, but he does look like he's an okay-looking gentleman, but he doesn't look like
guy,
a teenager.
But he doesn't look like a teenager.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like that's like the energy that the Peanuts have. Like they are adults, but they just resonate teen vibes. Like David Dobrik's probably like what 27 or something, and I'm like in my mind I'm like he's baby probably. I'm probably older than David Dobrik. I'm wicked not. I don't think.
No. Okay, so it's they wake up and they're like this was a place. Among the scraps they find a cereal box. they find a cereal box that had like a little bit of gunpowder or something in it.
Yes.
So they're like, and it's you know what cereal box it is?
Honeycombs.
It's like these have been out of production for years.
They have not been, unfortunately.
Also, they need to have really poshy accents because I don't think Mr. Peanut talked, but he had a monocle and a top hat. So yeah, he's poshy as fuck.
I think that they have accents from different places. I think that one has like an English accent and the other one has a French accent.
Okay, they're just poshy peanuts.
Yes.
So what abilities does Hitman have that can translate to a peanut?
Gun.
Peanut gun.
Yeah, Diddy Kong has one.
What?
Diddy Kong has a peanut gun?
He has a peanut gun?
Yeah, they're like peanut pistols.
Oh, I fucking love that, actually.
Donkey Kong has a coconut.
I cussed again. God damn it.
Again.
Shit.
Stop cussing.
Fuck. You can't do it, man. You can't do that.
So, peanut gun. Peanut sniper rifle. I mean, we could just give it like full weapons.
Or you know what their ultimate weapon is? Peanut allergy. One of them, AJ, that's their secret thing. If one of them touches you, you suddenly have a peanut allergy. The other one can secrete peanut poison or whatever.
Yes.
So you can go to like the chef, right, and be like, they stir around their peanut hand into their thing. Or it's like, oh, I guess we're having peanut curry tonight, basically. And so that's how you can poison some of the people.
Yes, it's a Hitman-based game where like you can run around like it is sandbox. There's like all these levels with all these different like things going on. It's a racetrack. It's a horse derby. It's
a caveman's house. Basically,
it's a caveman's house. It's a McDonald's kitchen, actually. But the goal is to always the target is always another mascot, and you have two peanuts that you control.
If you could kill any mascot, who would it be, AJ? I know that's a loaded question.
Oh, man. I mean, of course,
it's a loaded peanut gun question.
The honeycombs mascot, because it's horrifying and horrid and bad and shitty and bad and gross.
I'd kill the Applejack and cinnamon ones.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Can I kill the Arby's hat?
The Arby's hat?
Yeah, like there's not a person there for me to kill, unfortunately. But I think that I just need to destroy something from that brand.
They have been oppressing you as a vegetarian for many years now.
Arby's has.
We have the meats, the real meats. Oh, fucking get off your high horse, Arby's.
Arby's has been attacking me, a vegetarian, for years, and I'm so glad that somebody finally said it.
Yeah, like shit. We went to.
I'm being oppressed.
We went to an old school diner yesterday, and they're like, "Yeah, we have the Beyond Burger." I'm like, "Wow, this fucking hole in the wall diner is moving further than Arby's."
Carl's Jr.'s has a mock meat now.
The burger place, the place known for burgers.
But watch, anyway, I want to kill Arby's.
Actually, no, they do have a mascot. Remember, we looked into it. It's the little ketchup girl, right?
Oh, I'll kill that little ketchup girl too. Also, that's the official Arby's waifu because Arby's is a lolicon company.
Holy shit, you're right. I
Yeah,
remember
we went through this before.
I blocked that from my memory because it scarred the shit out of me.
So,
Is this? And then we got to kill Pebbles and Bam Bam.
we are going to have to kill Pebbles and Bam Bam because
this a
we're going to
really
get on that
fucked up-
serial tracking, and then we're going to kill the Tony the Tiger, who is in a zoo.
Wait,
That'll be exciting.
You know what's actually weirder? The thing that makes it okay? We're playing kids, so it's okay for them to kill other kids.
Yeah, that's fair. That tracks.
You know,
Shit, I like this game a lot, actually.
you cussed again. Jesus.
I'm sorry. Dang. Does that count as a cuss?
No.
Aw, dang. I cussed again. I'm so sorry. Dang, I really like this. Aw, beans, let's put a pin in it. Is it my turn now?
Yes, it's your turn, buddy.
Okay, this is just funny. There's not really a game suggestion here, but it's
I love
a
funny
little bit
submissions.
of a conversation.
Okay.
Fish Harlan suggests from Twitter, @FishHarlan, a Batman Beyond game. Please, God, it's the best Batman, and I need more Batman Beyond content.
We're not getting any, sadly.
Here's the thing.
I mean, like,
Have you heard about the news about the new news about Batman Arkham?
are they bringing Batman? Is it going to be Batman Beyond themed?
So there was, I guess, a pre-order DLC that if you pre-ordered it from the right place, you got a Batman Beyond skin for Batman. It
Yeah.
was just like a red outfit.
Oh yeah, I've played with that. It's awesome.
But they kept on saying, oh, this will be released to the public for other systems at a later date.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been 5 years,
Yeah,
And
and
they
more
fought-
Arkham games.
and they finally released the skin for that game. So everyone can go buy it now.
Oh,
5 years later.
You know what's wild to me? People are still playing that game.
People went back to it because this game had like a DLC where you could get a new outfit.
Holy crap, dude! I actually, now that I think about it, I'm not a big fan of Batman, just because like it's gotten to this point where it's too big of a thing to get into. I think because like if you
The
read
Arkham series?
well, no, I mean if you get into Batman, like
Like
that
the
means
comics?
you got to read Detective Comics, you got to read Batman and Robin. You
Oh
gotta
yeah,
read
DC has no fucking idea how to organize their comics.
Yeah, it's crazy. But the Arkham
I'm
games
sorry,
are
I did another cuss.
Who gives a shit? It's a DC. But like the Arkham games are like some of the best games I've ever
They're
played.
so good. I think that you could get into just playing the Arkham games.
Oh yeah,
But,
you
like,
can get the vibe of it, but but it alludes to so much more stuff. Like in the first game where they were talking about you can eventually meet the Mad Hatter. You never really meet him in the first game. Of course, you know in Arkham City you
yeah,
get
you don't
to do
know
that.
who he is.
Yeah, so it's like, but they did do a good job at like adding little bits of info and stuff like that
Mhm.
that you can like read on them. But that only just made you want to like read the comics. Or I went through a lot of Wikipedias playing
Yeah,
that
I
game.
understand.
But like,
Well, that's kind of like the same format the Spider-Man game's going through. But hold on, wait. I need to talk about the fact that like, and just like digest and maybe crack some jokes at the fact that this idea of just like doing a palette swap for a 5-year-old video game and then releasing that and being like, there it is, there's your Batman Beyond game, has been robbed from you and I because they actually did it.
that's our brand. They're DC, a company that's been around for almost 100 years, is coming in on our fucking brand.
What other 5-year-old DLC can we just release for everybody now?
There has to be Borderlands stuff out there, right? Or is it all of it available in the Handsome Jack collection?
I think all of it's available in the Handsome Jack collection.
Okay, because they know what's up. Actually,
Asura's Wrath had a bunch of DLC that should just be free with the video game. Can I get that, please?
you know what we could do?
What?
We can release more skins for all of the Gears guns from Gears 4 Judgment.
Yes.
So it's like you know, like all those limited edition skins you can get for the guns.
Oh, hell
and shit?
yeah.
We just like I don't know. It's been like 4 years since that game came out, right?
Oh, easily.
We just released like 100 skins for those
New
guns.
skins for Gears of War Judgment. This game is playable again, guys. Come check it out.
We didn't make any other adjustments to the game. Just more
We
skins.
cannot. This game blows.
Was that game really that bad?
It was only bad in comparison to the rest of the Gears games.
That's fair. And you're going through them right,
yeah.
again
Me
right
and my
now.
roommate are going through all of them. We're gonna skip
God, I'm
Judgment.
so jealous, dude. Like
Ooh,
I
it's
actually,
so good.
you know
Wait.
what?
Do you have a joke?
What with Gears?
Just on this tangent, do you see a joke down this tunnel? Down
No,
this Gears tunnel?
I was just gonna say I grew up playing Gears with my dad, and it was like I think one of the reasons why I like playing shooters is because it's really, in a weird way, that gory game was really wholesome to me. But that aside, I'm gonna give you a game.
Give me a shooter game.
Let me give you
Shooter.
That's a good like. Hey, shooter, how you doing?
Yeah, it is. It's a good
Actually,
line.
it's kind of like a little bit threatening though. I don't have a shooting game. Oh wait, actually no, I do. This one comes to us from Max's Chemical Romance at Max_. A multiplayer asymmetrical looter shooter where one player sets up waves of enemies, imbuing each with a power that will become a pickup when the other players kill them. So, I like doing the shooter stuff. You like coming up with weird, crazy shit.
Yes.
So imagine we're playing a game like Destiny where waves and waves are being generated by your opposing player. So it could be like, you know what would be really good for this?
What?
Use Doom, like Doom Eternal.
Oh, yeah.
So like one
and,
person plays the Doom Slayer.
And the other person gets to like generate enemies, and they get to generate different, like, I can make one of those big cock demons. That was the name of it.
It was Cockle Demon.
It was Cock Demon.
I fucking hate that game.
So I can make the Cock Demon and then say, oh, but the Cock Demon regenerates
You're
health.
cussing again.
That's not a cuss, it's its name.
Call it like a friendlier ad-friendly name.
Ding Dong Demon.
There we go. Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation.
So the Ding Dong Demon, or I'm going to give him...
The Dingle Demon, if you want to be short about it.
Thank you, the Dingle Demon. So the Dingle Demon has... He does kind of look like a dingleberry, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
So the Dingleberry Demon has...
Oh
I'm going to give him extra health. I'm going to give him 2 lasers, and I'm going to make it so that every 20 seconds the Dingle Demon is going to spawn a second Dingle Demon.
So here's the thing. I want to figure out
how... It's not
how
a looter shooter. Like, what do you get from me creating the world's most powerful Dingle Demon?
Well, if we look at it, if we try and I'm so into Doom Eternal, the hype is so real. He has new weapons, so you could do a thing where like he gets the Archon sword. Or he gets to pick up like an Archon axe that the Marauder carries. He gets a new Predator fucking missile thing on his back. He has that new knife gauntlet.
So, okay, but you want to go ahead and
pick up steroids and get stronger.
I like the idea of a game that is exactly like Doom and as fast as Doom, except you also have way too much loot dropping and like you have to micromanage.
It's Borderlands level.
It's Borderlands level of action.
There you go.
Or Borderlands level of gameplay. Gear system with Doom Eternal level combat.
Here you go, and this is how we make it fun, because this was going to be my question, is be like, okay, how much time does the opposing player have to set up their wave? In between games, each player has a minute to manage, so the Doomslayer will have a minute to manage inventory, choose the upgrades that he wants over the heaping piles of weapons around him.
Yes.
And the other player has a minute to prep their forces that they're going to send their way.
Yes, that's cool.
But now what does the other... You know what would be really cool?
Huh.
The player that built the wave can do it toy soldier style. They can take over any character they've set up.
Wait a minute. Doesn't Doom have this gameplay style coming on the way?
Yeah, but you don't get to create the waves. It's an asymmetric shooter where one person plays the Demon Slayer and everybody else plays demons. And you can choose which demon you want to play.
You know what I'm also really interested in, though, to take a step away from the Doom angle?
Uh-huh.
A looter shooter where you get to create the loot for somebody else.
That's kind of fun.
Could you imagine being able to like have like a whole list of menus in front of you and you get to decide what horribly jank-ass gear you're going to give to your friend?
Yeah, you basically are like a game master.
Yes.
You know? So, okay.
Like, I've always wanted Borderlands to give me a menu so that I can like do some upgrades with. And the idea that I would be able to do that while messing with my friends would give me so much joy. Every single one of my friends is getting that stupid sniper rifle with a barrel gun. Why? It's stupid and funny to watch you pull the trigger a bunch while you're trying to snipe.
I like one of my favorite animations is where you actually throw away the gun.
Yes.
Like, what brand does that? It's like it's a certain
TDR.
You throw away the freaking gun.
My friends are always going to end up like if I had the option, I'm going to give my friend a weapon that does like way too much damage, but it has an ammo of 1, and then you have to throw the gun away.
Oh my
like you're
God.
on some Reaper from Overwatch level shenanigans.
Okay, I like that. So I think it'd be kind of fun. I think I'd have more fun doing the melee weapons because each melee weapon would have varying things. Like you can call it the Sword of Invisibility. So it's like Pendragon's sword where you can't see it, but it's also not there. So they
Oh,
just have
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
handle, and they're like, I'm going to go in and slice these people up. And the moment you swing, it just goes through them. And I want to nerf on people like that. They're like, I'm going to defeat everything. It's like, oh, wait, this weapon actually is fucking useless.
There's just a joy in making silly weapons in games that I wish that like there'd be a game where I could make silly weapons and force my friends to use them, right?
Well,
like
this is the game. That's why we're making it.
yes.
I like this. Let's put a pin in it.
Wait,
You'll have more?
I have okay, wait. I want to put a pin in this, but I want to put one huge twist on it.
Okay.
There's 3 players. One player is like the dungeon owner. They're the person
game
that,
master.
They're the person that gets to like create monsters, play as the monster, give the hero a bunch of like hassle. One player is the hero. They're the one that's going through the dungeon and they're killing everything and shooting stuff. The third player is the gear master. And so like it's a little bit roguelike. So the hero goes through, kills stuff that the dungeon master creates. The gear comes back to the gear master.
And they can just work on it.
They get to look through the menus and create silly gear that the hero has to use.
Oh, shit.
And then the hero runs through with the silly gear that's built for them by somebody else.
This is kind of like Crawl, but with like a bigger like emphasis on gear.
Yes,
a little
and like
bit.
and it gives a player the right to just like mess with gear that isn't the person using it, which I think is really silly.
And you know what would be a great way to do it? You can do a thing to motivate people to not be assholes. Is the gear master and the hero swap places every room.
Ooh, yeah.
So it would be like you're going and you beat this one level that the GM set up. And that means like they have had to give in a good loadout. So like you guys swap places. So you and I would swap places.
Wait.
And then that means I need to craft good gear for you that you can use.
I got it.
Go.
It's so easy. It's not another player. It's a stream feature. So the actual base game,
God.
the actual base game, you get to take your gear back and you build your weapons and then you go through the run again. If you're streaming it,
They
it has
craft
like
it
a
for you?
streamer version, kind of like Dud Cells had.
Oh my God.
And the chat gets to create the weapons for you. So if they want to screw you up and say, hey, check this out. You have a teeny, tiny, itty bitty sword. Good luck.
It's a little letter opener,
Thanks,
basically.
chat. I hate you. Time to go.
But it could also, you could do a thing where it's like the worse a weapon they give you, the more
loot
points.
you drop.
Yeah, the more points you get or something.
Yeah.
It could be like there's a counterbalance. So like you can get nothing but shitty weapons, but there's still a chance at you surviving and thriving from it.
I like this.
I like this. You want to pitch me another game?
I got one more, I think.
Only one?
I'm sure I can
Only
dig,
one?
dig deep.
We'd also do some.
I've got one more nug contender. Do you want some softballs?
Give me a soft boy. Yes.
Cooking Papa, a Meninist cooking simulator. This comes from X-Ray 950 on Twitter. Philip K.
I read this and I immediately got a flashback to like that traditional stereotype of like men don't want to read maps and shit. It's just like, I don't need a recipe. I know how to cook souffle. Like it's nothing but that. And it's like a 10-second short. Done.
So a Meninist cooking simulator. Of course, we have to fall back on like the only manly way to cook is on a grill. So you're having... But then you get like...
Is it propane and propane accessories or is it coal?
It's propane and you're going to cook whatever you're going to cook on propane.
No,
and
it's got to be beef. It can't be any of that vegetarian meat shit.
None of that vegetarian shit.
My favorite place to eat is Arby's. We have the meats, the real meat.
I love my propane grill and I love steak. And then someone's going to come up to you and be like, sir, could I get soup? And he's like, oh, you want soup? And he just dumps the broth on the grill.
Yes, there you go, liquid. Oh my God.
He's like, hold on, it's going to be a little bit chunky. And then he grabs some of like, it's a coal grill. And so he grabs some like
propane.
wet coal.
Oh.
And he puts it in a bowl and he says, there you go. I'm a Meninist. I love men's rights. I hate women.
Oh my God. This game's terrible. Here, I actually have one for you. I have like kind of the opposite of that.
Okay.
Well, not just so much the opposite. I just think it's a very funny one. This one comes to us on Twitter from Robot Building Supervillain TM at Toxic Zero Bambi. Barbie Eldritch Adventures. They encounter a Meninist, and it's an otherworldly being that cannot be understood or explained. It's just sad. It makes sense because H.P. Lovecraft was a piece of shit sexist.
And a racist.
And a racist.
So maybe the Barbie Eldritch Adventure is just Barbie. It's hear me out. Wait, it's actually a combination between two other Barbie IPs, which I'm 98% sure already exist.
You can take a stab. I wouldn't know.
Detective Barbie.
Yeah, that exists.
And Karate Barbie.
Yeah, probably.
You play as Barbie, infiltrating the Eldritch community fan base and people therein that like H.P. Lovecraft and all of that he brought to the horror community.
She's invading the H.P. Lovecraft Society. It's a building in Los Angeles.
And she's like, this is awesome. I sure do love spooky stories. And then someone's like, yeah, and I also hate women. And then you karate chop him in the throat. And the whole game operates like this. It's Barbie.
Cthulhu racism.
It's just Barbie in that escape, attacking and beating the piss out of everybody that tries to defend Lovecraft.
See, what's so funny about it is that the whole vibe of it will still be like, yeah, adventure. It's not like taken seriously. She's just like casually, literally killing just these racist pieces of shit.
Maybe not killing, but definitely hospitalizing.
Just the same way Batman hospitalized people in the Arkham games. Yeah. No, he straight up killed those fucking dudes.
No, they're super alive. It's kind of like how like in the Yakuza games, Kiryu's never killed a man. He might have dropped a motorcycle on somebody and hit somebody with a sewer lid, but he's never killed a man. It's that energy. It's like a high-octane action-adventure game of Barbie being a detective and using her cool karate expert to beat the piss out of meninists and racists.
There was this one Wii game called I watched the Game Grumps play. It's Barbie Adventure, and she's basically Indiana Jones.
Hell yeah, she is.
So the final level is her infiltrating a Cthulhu temple and getting relics and shit, and then at the end of the game, karate chopping Cthulhu right in his fucking eye.
I got another silly one.
It's just so dumb. Fuck. Moral of the story. Fuck H.P. Lovecraft. Cthulhu's kind of cool.
Yes.
Barbie kicks ass.
Dear Lovecraft, thank you for expanding the horror genre.
Yeah, coming.
Fuck you.
Give me another silly one, please.
What I also like about this game, though, is that we have 3 upgrade paths we can take with the Barbie adventure.
Karate.
You can expand in karate, detective, or Indiana Jones.
Architecture, or history. Basically.
History, yes.
Or yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Depending on what path you take, it dictates how you school Cthulhu at the end.
Yes, and it also dictates how NPCs interact with you. If you've upgraded your karate path a lot, then you can intimidate people. If you've upgraded your detective thing, then you can tell when people are lying to you. Or if they make a joke that you're like, that seems a little bit distasteful.
That's not great,
then
bro.
You're like, aha, I got him. He's not stupid. He's racist.
And then everybody around him's like, oh no. And then the fucking clan drops him, or not the clan, that's a different thing.
Which there will be a whole arc where you beat the shit out of the KKK.
I'm into this game, but also man, there's a lot to take here.
I love it. I love the idea of Barbie running around beating the piss out of horrible people.
This is the same fucking energy as Wolfenstein. Sorry for cussing. This has the same energy as Wolfenstein.
Yes.
Because there will be those fuckers that are like, I don't get why we have to beat up Nazis. Nazis are people too. No, Nazis are fucking disgusting people. They're not humans. And why would you defend them at all? So it'll be people will be like, oh, H.P. Lovecraft was a good person. He just was misinformed. No, he was a piece of shit.
No, he was not misinformed. He named his cat the thing that he named his cat.
God, what
was it, a cat or a dog?
It was a cat. It was a fucking asshole.
Oof.
Yeah, seriously. Oof. So this game will have pro women, pro positivity, pro cool shit.
Yes, it's all done with smiles and rainbows. There's never a moment where Barbie has to explain herself to any of these people.
She just kicks their fucking face in or schools them on history.
Racist action, immediate punishment. No discussion.
Just somebody in mid-sentence of racism just clocks their teeth out.
So this submission comes from Gazer, @JustGazer. You've just uncovered the long-lost Fifth Element video game.
Oh, no.
A GoldenEye-like shooter for the PS1. Blake, what's the Fifth Element video game like?
I
It's absolutely hella dated. I think my least favorite part was the horrible first-person platforming where you had to jump car to car in the tutorial of all places.
Actually, if you look closely, it's in that same Switch release where it included Aladdin and Lion King. If you dig deep into the menus, you'll actually find the Fifth Element game. Besides the point, this is actually just a review of that game. My least favorite part was all the dialogue options when you were playing the red-haired lady.
Because it was all gibberish.
It was all gibberish. You're like, I don't know how to solve this question. Please help me. And then her answer is always love at the end of it.
Once you hit like
fucking
halfway
love
through
Fifth
the game,
Element.
like it was always like one of the dialogue options on the bottom was always multipass. And it's like, hey,
how is this relevant for that one situation? It totally works.
Yeah, it totally worked that one time, but I'm not going to say multipass at any other point in this fucking video game. It was also really uncomfortable, though, to see how many gameplay mechanics were stolen from this game and just put into Mass Effect.
You know what my favorite part though was? It doesn't show as well in the remaster, but if you play the original like Nintendo copy of it, they actually took the audio from the movie, but they didn't have enough dynamic range to play it on the chips of the NES. So it just sounds like, you know, like that beautiful symphony song, opera song, just sounds like complete shit. It sounds like it was running through a lawnmower. It was terrible.
It was also weird that in the remaster, they went ahead and redid Bruce Willis and made him bald. Because he wasn't bald originally.
They wanted to make him more in line.
They wanted him to look more like Bruce Willis now.
Really, but you know, honestly, we can say how bad this game was, but was it worse than the Waterworld video game, where you had to stay hydrated by peeing in a cup every 4 hours of the game?
4 hours of gameplay meant one piss.
And all of the peripherals for those games, especially the P Cup one.
The P Cup for the Waterworld game was a little bit in bad taste. All right, are you ready for my nug contender?
Sorry, I'm laughing over P right now.
Fuck, I don't know if I have something that's gonna beat Barbie beating the piss out of H.P. Lovecraft.
I'm like
fans.
super into that though.
All right, here's another submission. XCOM. But you're a teacher with students. Try to get your students to get good grades so the school district will give you a lovable salary. Bonus points if you get the skater kid to join the mathletes. Here's the one important and very big thing that I need to know about this video game.
Are you talking about the 90% thing?
No.
Okay.
I need to talk about branding.
Uh-huh.
Because here's the thing about XCOM. It's mission-based. You always have a goal. You got to figure out how you're going to get all these people to terminate all these enemies, or how you're going to get your squad to the exit zone. You know what school-based thing also had to have missions, or they had to get people to the right place at the right time, otherwise some kids would die forever?
What?
Magic School Bus.
Okay, so
I don't remember the teacher's name from the Magic School Bus. Miss Frizzle. She's not married.
Miss Frizzle.
Single.
Miss Frizzle.
Hey, Miss Frizzle.
She does have a Netflix new series up, so
Shit, does she?
I think they relaunched it or they restarted it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you can ask out Miss Frizzle.
Well, you play as Miss Frizzle.
Really quickly. No, really quickly, AJ. I want to know, what are your one-liners to pick up on Miss Frizzle? Because remember, she's smart, and I know that's not your strong suit, but
I think the best way for me to hit on Miss Frizzle.
Hey, Frizzle, you want to get frizzy?
I'd ask her if she wanted to go to like a museum.
Oh, okay. What museum, though? Because that's very important.
Yeah, because if I pick the wrong museum, she's going to take me along on one of her horribly terrifying adventures.
You're like, I think let's go to the Museum of Death. How bad could that be?
Nope.
Museum of Death is a real place in Los Angeles.
I know it's a real thing. And if you go to the Museum of Death with Miss Frizzle, she's going to be like, oh, check it out. They have a vial of just the bubonic plague. Let's go see what it's like in there. And then she's going to grab me, and we're going to shrink down into teeny tiny itty bitty. Oh, you can't see me anymore because I'm so microscopic. And I'm going to go face to face with an actual bubonic plague virus.
But see, you know what? The bubonic plague on a microscopic level looks
just rats.
No, it kind of looks like a Cthulhu monster. And you know who else is going to join you on your adventure?
The 5 kids that Miss Frizzle dragged to the Museum of Death.
I was thinking it's going to just be Barbie on one of her fucking wild adventures. Barbie beats up the bubonic plague. Think of the merchandising with that, though.
The Miss Frizzle game or
No,
the Barbie game?
Barbie beats up the bubonic plague. Or Barbie fights the bubonic plague.
I think that these are separate IPs. I think that the Barbie company's not going to let us get Miss Frizzle involved.
Okay, there's conflict.
Because, well, here's the thing.
conflicting
Barbie has
interests.
all of her other friends.
That's true. Prince,
Yeah, like Guy.
a horse.
And not Barbie 1. And not Barbie 2.
Ken, she's friends with Ken.
She is friends with Ken.
Uh-huh.
So, I'm really interested, though, in, like, an XCOM style game with, like, all these like infotainment adventures, but if you lose a kid, you lose a kid. Like that part of XCOM where like there's a XCOM's like the tactics game where if you lose somebody in the level, they're dead forever. You don't get to redo it. You lose all of your progress.
I have always wanted to play XCOM. I know you tried playing it, but couldn't keep with it, right?
No, it's a tough game, and I don't think I like tactics games that much, unfortunately.
Okay.
But
so we're playing Miss Frizzle, who's guiding her group of kids that you can design all of the kids.
Yes, you can design the kids.
And then
you
each
can name
of them
the
have
kids.
like different you're taking a weird influence here. It's kind of like Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, the video game for the Wii. Because each kid had their own strong suit for knowledge. So it could be Miss Frizzle's like, I want to rely on this kid who knows history to handle this history problem. You don't know what the skater kid's really into, but you're I'm going to take a gamble and see if they can manage this. And it turns out they're really good at math.
Yeah.
And that's how you get them on the math team.
And also, the skater kid has a unique ability where his movement is twice as long as the other students because he has a skateboard.
Oh, dude, I can't wait to see this kid pop an ollie on the black. This is the Black Plague or I think it's the same thing, right?
What, the blacktop?
No, the Black Plague and the bubonic plague were the same thing.
Yes.
Okay.
There's of course Sports Kid, and Sports Kid has the most health of all the students.
He could take a beating.
He can absolutely just take a beating.
It's a fun game. All right.
But then you have the nerdy kid. The nerdy kid is like, he has the most ammo on him, or whatever resource we have for the combat in the game.
He has the most school lunch brought with him.
Yeah.
So he's
the medic.
He's the medic guy.
Yes.
Sweet.
And I think that like if you can level the kids up, their grades go up. And I think that that's how that's done.
Oh, so like the more active they are on a mission, the more they learn and the more they level up at the end of the mission.
Yes, and I think that here's the other thing about here it is. Okay. When you go to level, you take the kids out, and like every time you take the kids out, you're gaining experience for the kids. But you can only apply the experience to the kids and make them level up if they do a test. When you do a test, you, the player, are actually given multiple choice questions, and you, as the player, have to know shit. I'm sorry, I did a curse. You actually have to know things about the episode, like the topic. Like if I want to level up the nerdy kid, I have to ask him questions about history.
So it's
going to be like, when did the war in 1775 take place? It's like, beans, 1776?
You know, be kind of cool.
What
is instead of like like how like old like elementary classrooms they would post their agenda on the week on like that. It's be like, hey, we're going to be doing this, this, and this during this. It's like you can see a week from now. You're going to be studying anatomy. So Miss Frizzle is going to bring you into a body or some shit. So now that's the thing you should study. So then you can spend time like Persona style. Like you have to like put aside time to get your character smarter. So maybe you do that.
Well, you have to put aside real world time. It's not like the character Little Jerry that's doing the test about history. It's you, Blake Rhea, playing the video game. The experience equates how many questions you get to ask or get on the test.
Okay.
The more test answers you do right, the more you're going to level up.
Interesting. So does it turn into a trivia game outside of?
It turns into a trivia
really
game
rad.
when you want to level up the characters, but it is timed so you can't just have like the answers pulled up on the side.
And it could affect something like, say you're on a mission or something, right? You're going around the Jurassic world and you're studying dinosaurs and somebody gets infected with an unknown poison. You only find out that, everybody's instant reaction is like, oh, put some Neosporin on it. But during your studies, you find out if you put Neosporin with this specific poison, it actually causes it to inflame and then they lose half of their health instantly.
And so like you can accidentally do bad
if you're not studying
if you put the wrong student to go help the medical kit or medicine.
So like our football player girl is like, she needs to study that like if the bubonic plague is not actually a physical thing. So if you try ramming it, you'll just go right through it.
Yes.
So that's the study that sort of thing will
And I also like the idea of like, because there are tests in game, I think
Mhm.
that after every turn, Miss Frizzle pops up on screen and gives you a little like factoid.
Oh, I like that.
That way you don't need to put in like real world time studying. You'll get a little bit through playing the video game.
Oh my god, I love that. Okay, this is cool. I want to give you a couple more lightning round stuff,
Okay.
and then we jump into our nugget. Okay.
That sounds fair.
All right, this one comes to us from Trilobite on Reddit. Phoenix White, base attorney, a hybrid detective rhythm game in an alternate universe where all trials are determined by sick base battles. Finally, another use for the DS Guitar Hero peripheral. So it's basically just the base battle from Scott Pilgrim, but they're also like dude.
I think it's like a Phoenix Wright game, but it's from the perspective of the music air guitar guy.
Oh hell
with
yeah!
the blonde hair and the red jacket.
I was also thinking it's just like it's Guitar Hero versus, but for you to state your case, you need to beat me in a quick bass lick. So like whoever plays the best bass lick can say they're part of the case.
I think.
So if you're
No, I think I want it to just be like an Ace Attorney sequel, but the entire time you're in trial, you need to be playing sick bass licks
and keeping focus.
And
so
keeping focus on the trial.
It's a memory game as well as a rhythm arcade game.
Yeah, because like I think that like when you go in for the trial, every trial is going to have a different bass line, and so like you'll reach a point when you're in the trial that you're like, okay, this is day 2 of the trial. I know the bass line to this. I don't need to worry about that because I learned that muscle memory in the game yesterday. It's blue, red, blue, blue, green. Blue, red, red,
so
green.
It's the same note. It's the same basically riff, right?
Yeah,
From
it'll
like,
always be the same riff for this trial. So by the third day,
Zelda's like a little whistle thing, right?
Yeah,
the ocarina kind of things.
Yes, and so like, and that'll just be for this trial. So you know this riff for this trial, you don't need to worry about it. But every time you throw in a piece of evidence, then it's gonna like shake it up a little bit, and so you have to like press the buttons right that time.
It'll add an orange in there suddenly. Okay,
and then it's gonna go back to the bass riff.
And then by the end of the trial, it's a full blown song. So you're building the song with as you go through the trial.
Yes.
Fuck.
Every time you get
Holy
like
shit,
one of the
that's rad.
evidence like accusations correct, it adds a new layer.
And then you unlock that song to listen to at the end of the trial.
Yeah. But like I love this idea that like what I think is so fascinating about it is though that like you're going to learn the muscle memory and it's going to reach that point where by the end of the trial you know this song, you know this tune, you know this jazz.
The final boss is gonna be
the final boss is you accusing a bee of murder.
Barry B. Benson, the bassist. The good.
The B in Benson. The B in B stands for bassist.
Barry bassist Benson.
Yes.
All right. Do you have a lightning round thing, or do you think we're
no?
ready
Give
for
me
the
another one.
I think I actually used all of mine.
All right. So here's my problem. There's 3 I really like. There's 2 I really like.
Is it Barbie and...
It's Barbie or XCOM with Miss Frizzle.
I think Barbie is a much stronger game.
Okay. Let's think about some of these mechanics. We know that we have a 3-tree progression system. I think that it's going to go in that like semi-generic action route that like God of War took, right? It's nothing new, but it's going to be like different combos will be in each tree. Maybe if you do the Indiana Jones route, you can do some ranged attacks with the whip.
Yeah, basically depending
Karate
on which route you go, it influences how you beat the final boss. Which, you know what? I was thinking about the final boss, if I may. It's like Wizard of Oz, where it's the guy behind the curtain. And you know who the guy is behind the curtain?
Who?
It's H.P. Lovecraft, who's been hooked up to like this machine like Mr. House from Fallout. So he like he just has like a hologram version of Cthulhu that will fight you. Or if you leveled up your detective skills to 100, you can actually discover that, hey, that's a hologram, and then you can just go beat the crap out of H.P. Lovecraft himself.
So we have 3 trees.
Yeah.
Or is this like, is it one story, but that's the secret ending if you have everything leveled up enough?
How about this? Because we have unlimited money to make this game, right?
We do have unlimited money.
Depending on which
Barbie is fronting all of the money for this, and they don't want like a bad, normal, like licensed video game.
They want an experimental adventure that tackles racism and sexism and all this crazy
Yeah,
shit.
they're really into it.
So each route presents its own unique bosses. So
I think the routes are decided based on actual like choices you make in the game. I don't think that they're attached to what progression you make.
okay, how about
Because
this
I
then?
don't-
How about this then? How about this then? There are 3 different final bosses that are all the same person.
Yes.
So detective, that means you're going to fight Mr. House style H.P. Lovecraft, who has like robotic arms that can smash at you in a completely different fight.
Okay.
The karate one is you're just taking on Cthulhu.
Yes.
Architecture one is like maybe a giant puzzle game.
Not architecture.
Sorry, it is Architect or Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones is not an architect.
Are you shitting me? Yes, he is.
Architects are people that build houses.
No, architecture. Who's a person that studies like old buildings and temples and artifacts?
It's not an architect.
Isn't it an architect?
No.
I was having this conversation the other day. Like I'm trying to figure out what an architect.
What is Indiana Jones' job? No, he studies archaeology, but that doesn't make him an architect.
Oh, he's an archaeologist.
Yeah.
I'm dumb.
Yeah. We figured it out though. So there's the archaeologist line. What's the final boss if you go down the archaeology line? Hear me out. If you go down the archaeology line, you discover that there is in fact a way to time travel. Barbie goes back in time.
Oh my god.
Kicks H.P. Lovecraft's dumb butt.
It's as satisfying in terms of punches. It's as satisfying as the ones in Last of Us, where you just like you feel the fleshy hit when
Yes.
he punches
It's
dumbass
just-
in his face.
It's heavy and it's weighty, and she's like, I'm sick of your shit. Kapla!
She fast forwards in time. Cthulhu doesn't exist at all.
No.
And she takes the cat with her, and that's the final image of the game.
And she renames the cat.
She renames the cat, and she's just sitting there petting it. You know what she calls it?
Lovecraft 2.
She calls it Prince. This is my cat, Prince.
I like that.
Or Ken, because Ken's nowhere to be seen in
What
this
are we
game.
calling this game? Is it Barbie's Horror Adventure?
I think Barbie's Eldritch Adventure. Honor the original game idea.
It is a really good name.
I do like it.
Yeah, I think that's it, huh?
Just Barbie's Eldritch Adventure, parentheses, fuck H.P. Lovecraft.
Fuck H.P. Lovecraft.
I think that's it.
That's a game.
That's it, man. I love that game, actually. You ready to go to patch notes?
Yeah, I'm ready to go to patch notes.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Patch Notes. Make sure to leave a review or a rating on iTunes. Those are very important for growth and charts. And with your guys' help, we might be able to get further than number 12. And holy shit!
We're not joking. Leave a review.
Why are you
Leave a review,
Why are you
please.
being so demanding?
Because here's the thing. I'm demanding because I'm desperate.
Oh, are you evaluating your self-worth off of...
I'm evaluating my entire self-worth off of these iTunes reviews. And right now, we've only got 22. You know how long I've been on this earth?
23?
23.
One for every year, except for this year.
Except for this year. And I'm about to be 24, so that ratio is going to go down again.
He's just going to be self-loathing for the next 2 years.
I need to get more reviews. Otherwise, I will think in my mind that I'm only worth a 22-year-old boy.
You'll be like Marty McFly's parents. You'll just slowly start fading away. It's just you subsist off of reviews.
I subsist off of reviews. I have a whole system. I only reward myself if I get a review.
You only feed yourself.
I only eat if I have a review.
It's so fucked up.
The good news is it is based off of stars. So,
get a 5-star meal, get a 4-star meal.
well, every star is a meal. So long as I get 5, if you give us a 5-star review, I get 5 meals. That's enough for a week if I eat once a day.
No, there's
Well, not on weekends.
No.
So if you want me to live and not starve to death, I am going to need that 5-star review, pretty please. Thank
Jay,
you.
That's so dumb. All right, guys, make sure to tune in this Thursday for our Barbie Kicks Ass art on Twitter. And thank you for listening.
And of course, our intro and outro music is Cheap Shot by Anna Monoguchi, an excellent song from an excellent band for an excellent game that is still not available in the US.
Yeah.
I've been your host, AJ Hart.
And I've been your other host, Blake Rea.
This has been Spiritual Successor.
And these are cool games that should not be... Hya! Get it? It's a karate chop. Because
These are cool games that should not...
be made?
Nope.
Well, we fucked up our whole rhythm.
Hold on.
Bye, everybody.
Nope, we
bye,
take it
bye,
from the
bye,
top.
bye, bye.
These are cool games.
I already said goodbye.
These are cool games.
I already said goodbye.
These are cool games.
These are cool games.
That should not be made.
Fuck you. I cussed again. No!